Hello, my wise friends. Welcome back to MrJamAdvice. Before we start, tell me in the comments where are you watching from today? I always love seeing friends joining in from all over the world, from the UK, Canada, Pakistan, the US, India, and beyond. And as always, I truly hope you're keeping well, sleeping peacefully, and doing something kind for yourself every day. Now let me ask you something, honest have you ever looked at your bank statement and thought, where did all my money go? You didn't buy anything huge, yet somehow the balance keeps shrinking. It happens to almost all of us, especially after 60 or 70 when life slows down. But expenses don't. You see, once we retire, the money we have isn't about how much we make, it's about how wisely we spend. And that's where many good people, sensible, caring people start slipping without realizing it. A few small habits, a few unnecessary purchases, and slowly, the savings that were meant to bring peace in old age start disappearing. So today, we're going to talk about 9 things you should stop spending money on in old age. And before you think, oh, he's just telling me to stop living or enjoying life, no. This video is not about being stingy or cheap. It's about being wise. Because at this stage of life, every dollar, every rupee, every pound is not just money, it's freedom. It's the ability to live with dignity, independence, and calmness. I've seen many seniors make the same mistake. They feel guilty about saying no, or they think spending on something unnecessary will make life more exciting, but instead, it brings regret and stress later. You've worked hard all your life. You've raised families, paid bills, built homes, and probably helped more people than you can count. Now it's your time to make your money work for you, not the other way around. And here's the truth, my friends, after a certain age, the smartest financial move isn't about earning more. It's about wasting less, because every bit you save from unnecessary spending becomes a gift to your future self, the peaceful version of you that doesn't have to worry about bills, debts, or depending on others. So in this video, we'll uncover those sneaky little money traps that slowly eat away at your retirement comfort. Some of these will surprise you. Some you might already know, but you'll finally feel the push to stop doing them today. So stay with me till the end, because I promise, by the time we finish this video, you'll look at your wallet, your habits, and your spending choices with fresh, wiser eyes. And if you're new here, welcome to MrJamAdvice. This is the place where we talk honestly about growing older with strength, wisdom, and grace. So make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on notifications, because every week, I share advice that can truly make your later years happier, healthier, and wealthier. All right, are you ready, my friends? Let's begin with the very first thing. Thing number 1, brand new cars. All right, my friends, let's start with the first money trap that quietly drains the pockets of many older folks. Buying brand new cars. Now I know what you might be thinking, but Jamal, I've worked my whole life. I deserve something new, shiny, and comfortable. And you're right, you do deserve comfort, but what you don't deserve is losing thousands of dollars the very moment you drive that shiny car out of the dealership. Here's a truth most people don't realize. A brand new car loses 10 to 20% of its value the moment you take it home. That means if you buy a $30,000 car, you just lost around $3,000, $6,000 in the first week, just like that. No accident, no damage, no problem, just depreciation. And after that, the value keeps falling year after year. By the time that new car smell is gone, you've already paid for something that's worth much less than what you gave. At our age, we must think differently. We don't need to impress anyone on the road. We don't need to chase the newest model, the latest feature, or the flashiest dashboard screen. What we truly need is reliability, comfort, and peace of mind. Here's the smart move. Instead of spending a fortune on a brand new vehicle, look for a 2-4-year-old certified used car. These cars are still in great condition, but they cost 30–40% less. They've already taken that first hit of depreciation for you, and now they're a bargain. You can find reliable brands that are known for long life: Toyota, Honda, Subaru, or even certain small SUVs that last for decades when cared for properly. And you'll be shocked how smooth and new they still feel. Now, some of you might say, but I like driving. It gives me freedom. Of course, and you should keep driving as long as you safely can. But there's another angle here too. Many older people buy expensive new cars that sit parked most of the week. Insurance, registration, maintenance, and fuel all add up even when you barely drive. If you only drive short distances, maybe a few times a week, it might actually be cheaper to use a ride-sharing service or community transport when needed. No headaches, no repairs, no surprise costs. And here's something wise to remember. A car is not a symbol of success anymore. At 60, 70, or 80, true success is having peace of mind and enough money in your savings account to sleep well at night. It's being free from monthly payments, not showing off a new model that nobody remembers after a week. So the next time you feel tempted to walk into a car showroom and smell that new car scent, ask yourself one question. Is this really for me or just for my pride? You see, pride is expensive, but wisdom saves money. And remember that money you don't spend on a new car could easily go towards something far more meaningful, a short trip you've always wanted, a health checkup, or even just the comfort of knowing you have a little extra in the bank for rainy days. So my wise friends, let the young ones chase the shiny things. You've earned the right to choose smart comfort over flashy expense. Now that we've talked about the car trap, let's move to another area where many older adults waste money without realizing it. Expensive clothing and fashion trends. Thing number 2, expensive clothing and fashion trends. Now, my friends, let's talk about something that quietly eats away at our savings. Buying expensive clothes and chasing fashion trends even in old age. You see, when we were younger, there was always a reason to dress up work. Parties, social gatherings, even competition. We wanted to look sharp, and sometimes we spent more than we should just to impress others. But at this stage of life, the truth is you don't need to impress anyone anymore. You've already proven yourself. You've worked hard, raised families, built your reputation, and earned your peace. So why spend hundreds, sometimes thousands, on new clothes you'll wear only once or twice when you already have more than enough hanging in your wardrobe? Let me tell you something I've learned from watching many wise elders. After 60 or 70, the most beautiful thing you can wear is comfort and confidence. Not a fancy brand, not a logo, not the latest fashion trend, just something that makes you feel relaxed, neat and true to yourself. Think about it, how many shirts, dresses, or scarves do you own that you never actually wear? Many of us buy new things simply because we're used to buying. It becomes a habit or sometimes a small way to fill an emotional gap. We see something nice and we think, oh, I deserve that. And you do. But deserving something doesn't mean you have to buy it every time. Fashion companies know this very well. They target older people too, showing stylish seniors in fancy ads, making you believe that a certain jacket or jewelry piece will make you feel young again. But my friend, youth isn't in the clothes you wear, it's in the energy you carry, in your smile and in your wisdom. You know, I once spoke with a retired teacher who told me something that stuck with me. She said, when I stopped caring about keeping up with fashion, I realized how light I felt not just in my closet, but in my mind. That's the power of simplicity, because every item you buy has a cost beyond money. It takes space, it demands attention, and sometimes it adds guilt when you don't use it. Here's a gentle piece of advice. Instead of filling your closet with new clothes, try this. Keep only what makes you feel comfortable, confident, and clean. If it fits well, feels soft, and looks neat, that's all you need. You don't need 20 shirts. You need 5 good ones. You don't need a closet full of shoes. You need a few comfortable pairs that make walking easy. And if you have clothes you haven't worn in years, give them away. Donate them to someone who truly needs them. You'll not only clear space in your home, but also open space in your heart. There's an old saying, we spend the first half of life collecting things, and the second half learning to let them go. This is that second half the season of letting go of unnecessary weight, including expensive fashion. So the next time you walk by a store window and something shiny catches your eye, take a deep breath and ask yourself, do I really need this or am I just bored? If it's just boredom, go for a walk, call a friend, or watch a good video instead. You'll feel much richer doing that because real wealth isn't in your closet. It's in your peace of mind. All right. My wise friends, now that we've saved money from clothes and cars, let's look at another area where money quietly disappears every month. Subscriptions and memberships that we rarely, if ever, use. Thing number 3, unused subscriptions or memberships. Now, my wise friends, let's talk about something that seems small, But over the years, it quietly eats away at your money like a hidden leak in a pipe. I'm talking about subscriptions and memberships, the ones you rarely use. Or even worse, the ones you forgot you had. Let me ask you honestly. When was the last time you checked your bank statement or credit card bill line by line? If you do, you might be surprised to see how many monthly charges are slipping out little by little without you noticing. Could be that fitness club you joined years ago, but never go to anymore. Or that streaming service you subscribed to just to try it for a month, but it's still charging you every 30 days. Or maybe even an online magazine, a cooking app, or a premium membership that sounded nice at the time. Individually, these might only cost $10 or $20 a month. But when you add them all up, some people are losing hundreds of dollars a year on things they don't even use. That's money that could easily go toward a nice dinner with your family, your medicines, or simply your savings. Here's the trap. Companies make it too easy to subscribe and too hard to cancel. One click to sign up, 10 steps to get out. And because the amounts are small, we tend to ignore them. We say, oh, it's just a few dollars, who cares? But the truth is, those few dollars add up faster than you think. You know what's even trickier? Some of these services renew automatically every year without warning. And since many older people don't check emails regularly or use online banking daily, they don't even realize the payment has gone through again. That's why I always tell my viewers, do a subscription cleanup every few months. Sit down with a pen and paper, check your statements, and write down every automatic payment. Ask yourself, do I really use this? And is this bringing real value to my life? If not, cancel it immediately. You'll be amazed at how freeing it feels, both mentally and financially. Let me give you a simple example. I once helped an elderly couple go through their bills. They found they were paying for 3 different TV streaming apps, a magazine subscription, and even a music service they had forgotten about. In total, over $60 a month gone for nothing. That's more than $700 a year, enough for a small vacation or several months of groceries. They canceled all of it, and you should have seen their faces. It was like finding hidden treasure. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't enjoy entertainment or hobbies, absolutely not. If you love one particular service and use it often, keep it. The key word is use. If it adds real joy or benefit to your life, it's worth it. But if it's just quietly draining your wallet, it's time to say goodbye. And one more gentle tip, many things you used to pay for are now available free online if you know where to look. Exercise routines, old movies, classic music, news. You can find so much without spending a cent. So don't feel bad for canceling what doesn't serve you. You're not losing anything, you're taking your control back. Because financial wisdom in old age isn't about how much money you have, it's about how wisely you use what you already have. So, my wise friends, before this month ends, take a good look at your subscriptions. Cut out the waste and you'll be surprised at how light your mind feels. Now that we've cleaned up our subscriptions, let's talk about another area where people over 60 often overspend. Fancy tech gadgets that promise convenience, but often become expensive dust collectors. Thing number 4, fancy tech gadgets. Now, my wise friends, this next one is a trap that many older people fall into without realizing it. Spending money on fancy tech gadgets. You know how it goes every year. There's a new smartphone, a new tablet, a new smartwatch, or some must-have device that promises to make your life easier. The advertisements are clever. They show smiling seniors video calling their grandkids, checking their heart rate, or asking some talking speaker to play their favorite songs. And while technology can absolutely make life more convenient, let me tell you, it can also quietly empty your wallet if you're not careful. Think about it. Do you really need the latest phone every year? Does a $1,000 smartphone do anything dramatically different from the one you bought 3 or 4 years ago? Most of the time, the changes are small: a slightly better camera, new color, maybe one extra feature you'll rarely use. But the cost, it's massive. And it's not just phones. People buy smartwatches, tablets, speakers, even those expensive robot vacuum cleaners. They sound exciting in the moment, but many of them end up sitting unused on a table or in a drawer once the excitement fades. Let me tell you something honest. Technology should serve you, not control your wallet. If a gadget truly helps you, like a simple phone that's easy to use, or a tablet that helps you read or video call your family, that's perfectly fine. But when you start buying gadgets because you Feel left behind or don't want to look outdated? That's when the trap begins. Companies know exactly how to play on that emotion. They make you believe that new means better, but in reality, new often just means more expensive, and many times the new versions are even more complicated for older users. Here's the wiser approach. Before buying any new gadget, ask yourself these 3 questions. 1. Will this really make my daily life easier? 2. Can I fully use the one I already have? 3. Can I wait a few months to see if I still feel the need? You'd be surprised when you wait. The urge fades, and so does the marketing pressure. Plus, within a few months, the same gadget usually drops in price. I know some older people who keep upgrading their phones, tablets, and laptops, but they only know how to use 20% of the features. They spend money not because they need the gadget, but because the company made them feel like they do. Instead, spend a little time learning your current devices. YouTube is full of simple free tutorials. Learn how to adjust settings, use video calls, or share photos. You'll discover that your current gadget can already do almost everything. You want no need to spend more. And here's one more piece of advice. When you buy a gadget, skip the expensive accessories and extended warranties that stores try to sell you. Those add-ons often cost a lot and rarely get used. Stick to what's essential. Remember, my friends, technology changes every year, but wisdom never goes out of date. Owning the latest phone doesn't make you smarter or happier. Using what you have with confidence does. So the next time you see an ad for a life-changing gadget, smile and say to yourself, I've lived long enough to know I don't need every new toy to be content. Because real peace doesn't come from having the newest screen. It comes from not needing it. Now let's move on to something that's often hard for many elders to hear. How overspending on luxury gifts for others can silently harm your financial peace. Thing number 5. Luxury gifts for others. Now, my wise friends, this one comes straight from the heart. It's about something many older people do out of love, but it often ends in regret. And that is spending too much money on luxury gifts for others. You see, as we get older, many of us have a natural desire to give. We love our children, our grandchildren, our friends, and we want to show that love through gifts. We want to make them happy, surprise them, or sometimes even prove that we still have it. But here's the truth. Sometimes we confuse generosity with financial pressure. We spend money we don't really have not because we want to, but because we feel we should. Maybe your grandchild is graduating and you think, I'll buy them the latest phone. Or your son or daughter is getting married and you feel you must give a big, impressive gift. Or perhaps a family member makes a small comment like, you always give the best gifts, Dad. And you feel that little push to keep up the image. My friends, I say this with love. You don't need to prove your love with expensive gifts. They may enjoy the gift for a moment, but what they'll remember for life is your presence, your words, and your time. When you overspend on others, especially on things they don't truly need, you're not just giving a gift, you're taking a piece of your own peace away. And often, the people receiving it don't even realize the sacrifice you made. I've met elders who went into debt just to give their kids money or buy luxury gifts, thinking it would make them proud. But later, they felt quietly hurt when no one noticed how hard it was for them. That pain is real and it's unnecessary. Remember this golden rule. If your gift costs you your comfort, it's too expensive no matter what it is. The most precious gift you can give anyone in old age is not money. Not jewelry, not gadgets, it's your blessing. Your time and your wisdom. No one can buy that, and it never loses its value. When your grandchild comes to visit, sit with them. Tell them stories about your youth, your struggles, and what you've learned. Those moments will live in their heart far longer than any watch, phone, or branded shoes ever will. And if you really want to give something physical, make it meaningful, not expensive. A handwritten letter, a framed old photo, a small handmade gift, something that carries emotion, not a price tag. The people who truly love you will never measure your love in money. And those who do well, they need to learn what love really is. So my friends, from today onwards, stop feeling guilty for not giving expensive things. You've given enough your care, your time, your support, your years of hard work. Now it's your time to protect your peace and your pocket. Say this with me in your heart. I can still give, but I'll give wisely. 'Cause wise giving doesn't drain you, it fills you. It reminds you that love doesn't need to come in a shopping bag. Now that we've talked about gifts, let's move to another area where many seniors spend more than they should. Expensive home decor and unnecessary renovations. Let's talk about that next. Thing number 6, expensive home decor or renovations. Now, my wise friends, let's talk about a spending habit that many older people fall into without realizing it. It's spending too much money on home decor and unnecessary renovations. You know the feeling one day. You're sitting in your living room, watching TV, and you think, maybe I should change the sofa. Maybe I should redo the tiles or paint the walls again. Or maybe buy that fancy new furniture set I saw on TV. And before you know it, you've spent a big chunk of your savings not on something you needed, but on something you were tempted by. Now, don't get me wrong, I completely understand the desire to make your home look nice. Your home is your comfort zone, your safe space. But after a certain age, your home doesn't need to look modern. It needs to feel comfortable, safe, and easy to live in. Many people in their 60s, 70s, or 80s spend thousands on fancy tiles, designer curtains, or new furniture sets. But what happens? They sit unused. They're hard to clean, or they just become decoration pieces that collect dust. And the sad part is the joy of buying those new things fades quickly, but the bill stays. Here's something wise to remember. You don't live to decorate your house should serve your life. At this stage, your focus should be on comfort, safety, and simplicity, not perfection. If you want to spend a little on your home, spend on practical improvements. For example, a good chair with back support, proper lighting in walkways and bathrooms to prevent falls, non-slip mats in the bathroom, easy-to-reach shelves instead of high cabinets. Those things might not look glamorous, but they're what make life easier, safer, and more peaceful. You see, we often get influenced by what we see on TV or social media, those beautiful homes with fancy furniture and decorations. But we forget something important. Most of those people are still working to pay for it. You've already done your work. You've earned your rest. Your home doesn't need to impress anyone. It only needs to support you. I remember one older gentleman once told me, I spent so much on new furniture after retirement, thinking it would make me happy. But what really made me happy was the old wooden chair I've had for 30 years. Fits me better than any new one ever could. That's the truth, my friends. Comfort comes from familiarity, not from a price tag. So if you're thinking of redoing your kitchen, changing tiles, or buying new decorations, pause for a moment and ask yourself, will this truly make my life easier, or just make it look better for a short while? Because in old age, peace and safety matter more than shiny marble floors. Warm memories matter more than new furniture. And every dollar you don't spend on unnecessary decoration is a dollar you can save for health, travel, or simply the comfort of knowing you're secure. So, before you let a salesman talk you into another home makeover, remember this. Your home is already beautiful because it's filled with your life, your memories, and your wisdom. No designer can add that. Now, my wise friends, let's move on to another area that drains money faster than we realize. Dining out too often. Let's talk about that next. Thing number 7, dining out too often. Now, my wise friends, let's talk about something that quietly empties your wallet without you even noticing, and that is eating out too often. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you should never enjoy a nice meal at a restaurant. Once in a while, yes, go out, sit somewhere nice, have a warm meal, and enjoy it. You've earned that. But the problem begins when once in a while becomes 3 or 4 times a week. You see, dining out used to be a treat. Now, for many people, especially after retirement, it's become a habit. And habits, my friends, are what quietly shape our finances. Let's do some simple math. Even if you go out for a modest meal twice a week, spending $15 or $20 each time, that's around $150 to $200 a month, or $2,000 a year. That's a lot of money going out for something you could easily enjoy at home, often healthier and cheaper. And here's another truth. Most restaurant food is made to taste good, not to keep you healthy. It's often full of salt, sugar, oil, and hidden ingredients that can harm your body over time. So in the long run, eating out too often doesn't just cost your money, it also costs your health. I've seen many older folks fall into this routine. They say, oh, it's just easier to eat outside. I don't want to cook for one person. And I understand that feeling. But there's a simple and better way to cook simple meals at home. You don't need a feast. You don't need to spend hours in the kitchen. A little rice, some vegetables, a soup or an egg, simple, fresh, and satisfying. And if you live alone, here's a wonderful trick. Cook once and eat twice. Prepare your meal in a way that you can store half for the next day. That saves you time, energy, and money, and it keeps you from being tempted to eat out. Plus, there's something special about cooking for yourself. It keeps you active, gives you purpose, and reminds you that you can still take care of yourself. That's something no restaurant can give you. Another idea. If you do enjoy social eating, try organizing small home meals with friends or neighbors. Everyone brings one dish, simple, inexpensive, and full of joy. You'll get good food and even better company without draining your wallet. Remember, my friends eating out should be an experience, not a routine. Keep it for special occasions, for those moments when you truly want to celebrate. That way, when you do go out, it will feel meaningful, not automatic. And here's something worth thinking about. Every meal you cook at home is not just saving money, it's adding to your independence. It's one more day you stayed self-reliant, healthy, and in control of your own life. So, from today, before you grab your keys and say, "Let's just eat out," ask yourself, do I really want to, or am I just avoiding a little effort? Because sometimes the effort is what keeps us alive, healthy, and wise. Now let's move on to another big area where seniors often spend too much. And that is overpriced health supplements that promise miracles but deliver very little. Thing number 8, overpriced health supplements. All right, my wise friends, this one is a big one. Because everywhere you look these days, there's someone trying to sell you a miracle in a bottle. They'll tell you, take this pill and you'll feel young again. Drink this powder and your joints will stop hurting. Buy this supplement and you'll sleep like a baby. And before you know it, older folks are spending hundreds of dollars every month on fancy supplements, vitamins, and so-called superfoods. But the sad truth is most of them don't do anything at all. You see, the health industry has become a business, and seniors are their favorite customers. Because they know that as we age, we worry more about our health. We all want to feel stronger, think clearer, sleep better, and they use that fear to sell us hope in a plastic bottle. Now, I'm not saying all supplements are useless. There are a few that doctors truly recommend, like vitamin D, calcium, or B12, especially if your medical tests show you need them. But that's the key, only if your doctor says you need them. The problem starts when we buy supplements just because a friend, an ad, or some health guru online said it worked for them. What works for one person may do nothing for another, or even cause harm. And here's something most people don't realize. When you take too many unnecessary supplements, your liver and kidneys have to work harder to process all that extra stuff. So instead of getting healthier, your body is under more stress. So my friends, before you buy that next miracle capsule, ask yourself, do I really need this, or am I being sold a dream? Because most of the nutrients your body truly needs are already in simple, real foods. A banana gives you potassium, a boiled egg gives you protein, a handful of nuts gives you healthy fats, and sunlight, yes. Just sitting in the sun for 15 minutes gives you vitamin D for free. The healthiest generation in history, our grandparents didn't take fancy powders or multivitamins. They ate simple food, worked with their hands, slept early, and walked daily. And many of them lived long, strong lives without ever seeing a supplement store. So here's my advice. Stop chasing health through bottles. Focus on your daily habits, eat fresh food, drink water, move your body, and get sunlight. Those are the real medicines that never stop working. And if your doctor truly recommends a specific supplement after a blood test, that's fine. But don't fall for advertisements or anti-aging scams. If something sounds too good to be true, it usually is. Let me share a small story. An older woman I once met said, I was spending over $200 a month on supplements. One day my doctor told me, you'd be better off buying fruits and vegetables instead. She followed that advice, and after a few months, she felt more energetic than ever. That, my friends, is real wisdom. Because true health doesn't come from a capsule, it comes from consistency, simplicity, and balance. So next time you're tempted by a new super supplement, smile and say, no thank you, I already have the best medicine, a healthy lifestyle. Now let's move on to the final thing. Older people should stop spending money on. And it's one that surprises many people. It's expensive gifts and money spent trying to impress others. Thing number 9, lending or gifting large sums. And now, my wise friends, we come to the last but perhaps the most important money trap many older people fall into. It's lending or gifting large sums of money to family or friends. Now, I know why many of us do this. We want to help, we've raised families, supported children through school, weddings, emergencies. We've given guidance, time, and love. So when someone comes asking for money, it's hard to say no. But here's the truth. Once you give money, you can't afford to lose. You risk your own security. Many elders end up feeling stressed, worried, or even resentful, all because they wanted to help. Think about it at this stage of life. Your money is not just money. It's your freedom. It's your ability to pay bills without worry, to enjoy small comforts, to go on trips if you wish, or to handle emergencies without stress. Lending large sums to children, grandchildren, or friends can sometimes backfire. Some may not pay you back on time or at all. Some may take your generosity for granted. And suddenly, instead of being the giver, you're the one who feels trapped. That's why it's important to set boundaries. You can absolutely support your family, but in ways that don't endanger your financial safety. For example, offer small, manageable gifts rather than large sums. Help them with guidance instead of money. Set clear expectations if you do lend. Remember, my friend, saying no when it matters is not selfish. It's smart. It protects your independence and ensures that your later years are comfortable and worry-free. And here's another tip if you want to help someone, but feel uneasy about giving money. Consider non-monetary gifts. Time, wisdom, or helping them learn skills often matters far more than handing over cash. I've met elders who used to give large amounts to their children every month. One day the money stopped and the relationship became strained because expectations weren't met. Contrast that with elders who gave guidance, emotional support, and small meaningful gifts. The family stayed closer and everyone was happier. The lesson is clear. Your money in old age is your safety net. Spend it wisely on your comfort, health, and happiness, not just on pleasing others. Because once it's gone, no amount of love or gratitude can replace it. So, my wise friends, as we finish this list, remember these 9 things. 1. Brand new cars. 2. Expensive clothing and fashion trends. 3. Unused subscriptions and memberships. 4. Fancy tech gadgets. 5. Luxury gifts for others. 6. Expensive home decor or renovations. 3. Dining out too often. 8. Overpriced health supplements. 9. Lending or gifting large sums. Each of these is something you can stop spending on today, and the peace and freedom you gain will be far more valuable than the things you give up. Because in old age, wealth isn't just money in the bank. It's calmness, freedom, independence, and dignity. So give wisely, spend wisely, and enjoy the life you've earned without regret, without stress, and with your heart and wallet intact. All right, my wise friends, we've reached the end of our list. We've talked about 9 things that quietly drain money: energy and peace in old age, brand new cars, expensive clothes, unused subscriptions, fancy gadgets, luxury gifts, home renovations, dining out too often, overpriced supplements, and lending or gifting large sums. Now I want you to take a deep breath and reflect. This is not about being stingy. It's not about denying yourself joy. It's about wisdom, about protecting the life you've worked so hard for. Think about it. Every dollar you save from unnecessary spending is a dollar that gives you freedom. It's a dollar you can use for health, for comfort, for small adventures, or just to have peace of mind. Because peace in old age is priceless. Here's something to remember. Money is a tool, not a goal. It should serve you, not the other way around. And the smartest people at our age are those who spend wisely, live simply, and enjoy life without stress. So my friends, today I challenge you. Take a look at your spending habits. Ask yourself which of these 9 areas are silently draining your wallet, and start cutting back gently, one step at a time. Small changes lead to big results. A little mindfulness each month, a canceled subscription, a homemade meal, a simple gift instead of an expensive one, all of it adds up, and slowly, quietly, your savings will grow. Your mind will feel lighter. Your heart will feel freer. Remember, growing older doesn't mean losing control. It means choosing wisely, enjoying life on your terms, and protecting your independence. And my dear friends, if this video helped you even a little, make sure to like it. Share it with others who might need it. and subscribe to Mr. Jam Advice. Because here, every week, we talk about real ways to live better, smarter, and happier in your later years. Also, don't forget to leave a comment below. Tell me which of these 9 things you still spend money on, and which one you're going to change first. I read every single comment, and your story might inspire someone else to take their first step toward wisdom. So from my heart to yours, spend wisely, live simply, love fully, and enjoy every moment you have earned. Thank you for watching, my friends. Stay healthy, stay happy, and I'll see you in the next video of Mr. Jam Advice.